Serve with joy. Joy in Christ does not depend on circumstances. Golden text, Philippians 4:4. Rejoice in the Lord always. Again I say, rejoice. Introduction. Welcome everyone. Today we're going to discover a powerful message. Serve with joy. Too often we think that joy depends on what happens to us. But Paul, in his letter to the Philippians, teaches us that true joy comes from our relationship with Christ, not from our circumstances. Paul wrote this letter while he was in prison, yet he was filled with joy. What a lesson for us today. Lesson objective: to learn how to serve the Lord with joy, even in difficult moments, by following Paul's example. 1. Pray with gratitude and joy. Philippians 1:3-11. I thank my God every time I remember you. In all my prayers for all of you, I always pray with joy. Paul shows us that joy begins in prayer. He rejoices not because everything is perfect, but because the Philippians are partnering with him in God's mission. He prays that their love would grow, their discernment would deepen, and that their lives would glorify God. Application. The believer's joy is born when they pray for others, when they choose to see what God is doing rather than focusing on the problems around them. 2. Rejoice in adversity. Philippians 1:12-30. Now I want you to know, brothers and sisters, that what has happened to me has actually served to advance the gospel. Paul is in prison, yet he says, my imprisonment has helped spread the gospel. He could have complained, but he chose joy. He even viewed the possibility of death as gain, because to die is to be with Christ. He encourages the believers to live in a manner worthy of the gospel, to remain united despite opposition, and to understand that suffering for Christ is part of the believer's privilege. Application. Joy doesn't mean avoiding suffering. It means seeing God at work in the midst of our trials. Like Paul, we can say, I may not understand everything, but I choose to rejoice in the Lord. 3. Rejoice together and experience God's peace. Philippians 2:17-18. 4. 4:8. Rejoice in the Lord always. Again I will say rejoice. Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God. Paul ends with a clear message. True joy flows from a heart of prayer, gratitude, and a mind focused on what is pure, just, and praiseworthy. He also says, the peace of God will guard your hearts. This peace surpasses all human understanding. Even when life seems to fall apart, God can keep your heart in peace. Application. Fill your mind with what is true, good, and pure. Learn to thank God before the miracle happens. Choose joy every morning as an act of faith. Call to discipleship. Today, God is inviting you to choose joy. Not a superficial joy, but the deep and lasting joy that comes from Christ. Like Paul, you can say, even in my chains, I will serve the Lord with joy. Your peace does not depend on what happens to you, but on the one who lives within you.